Hi guys, Scott from Hey Guys. Lovely to see you. Congratulations on the movie. I know this is a project you guys were working on for a long time. I mean, what was kind of the catalyst to get this project in the right place that you two wanted to work together and kind of bring it to the screen?
It all started with a script, I guess, and then we both worked on it for many years to try to get it to a place that we were really psyched about, and eventually we did.
Yeah. For you, I mean, what was the lure of working with someone like Seth? Because, I mean, great actor, great producer. For you, I mean, it must have been a delight to do
It was sincerely intimidating, yes. Very. Especially, yeah, I mean, this is so his jam, so I listened a lot, I learned a lot. I feel from the first moment that we met and talked about this, I felt really good about it because I felt like we wanted to try and make the same movie, and that's always a great thing when you can meet collaborators who you respect and admire and want to work with and then end up wanting to make the same movie. That's always a great thing.
Yeah, I know that you said that you wanted to feel kind of classic in terms of, Harry Met Sally and all of those kind of things. I mean, was there a certain thing that you wanted to make sure that was in the script that kind of played to those classics, if you like?
No, I just really, I think more in terms, I mean, that movie specifically, I think I like so much how it really is like a two-hander, and it is like about the two characters, and you get to know both of them in a way that you feel like you hope that they wind up together, and I think that's something that we tried to do with this movie, yeah.
Just finally, you're both obviously in this movie, and you're both stepping into animation with two big movies. You're playing Morticia Adams, you're playing Pumbaa in The Lion King. I mean, how excited was it to kind of bring those characters to life?
Oh, super exciting. Yeah. I mean, just for the fact that my kids are never going to see any of my movies until they're like 56. So, or any of yours.
Never, hopefully, yeah.
We have two movies that my children and your future children, if you want them, no pressure.
One day, you never know.
And I just love that whole world. So that's my jam.
Yeah.
So I was very excited about that.
Do you get to sing Hakuna Matata, or can you not tell us yet?
I do sing Hakuna Matata, yeah.
Are you allowed to say that?
I'm only allowed to say that. I think I got an email from Disney saying like there's one thing you can say, and that is that you sing Hakuna Matata. Sure. Yeah.
You are reckless.
Yes, I've said I say terrible. I've already said a lot of things I should not have about The Lion King.
You're not in Avengers, I guess. Thanks so much.
Exactly. If not better.
If not better, it might have created more amazing. Yeah, it's true. There probably would have been more palpable chemistry between us.
Yeah.
If there was tension.
You have a brilliant scene in the movie where you go out to a nightclub and you have a wild time. Did you guys do any method acting with the cast? Were there big nights out to practice for that?
We worked really hard on this film.
Yes.
I wish there was a fun story like that.
No.
But it would be a lie.
You'd have to, yeah.
It would be a lie.
It would be too much to actually, yeah.
It's very exhausting doing those scenes.
Yeah, we rest. You rest up. Yeah, we want to bring
as much as you possibly.
Bring our A game.
We're old.
We're very old. Yeah. Charlize is. Yeah.
Hey!
I'm joking.
Hey! It's true. I'm older.
Yes.
I need a lot more sleep.
Did you base your characters on anyone when you're playing like a strong political?
No. Nobody.
Oh yeah, hey you guys.
Like the Goonies, so we said?
Like Sloth. Did Seth tell you that his character had a sloth tattoo? Okay, so is this interesting to you at all?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so they're in the scene where, did you see the movie? Okay, so the scene where he reveals his tattoo, like so we did, like the scene was longer and he had other tattoos.
Right.
And we just had to cut them for time. But he had, one of them was a Beastie Boys, like the plane from License to Ill.
Yeah.
That was on his arm. And then another one was the Akira bike.
Okay, yeah.
And the last one was Sloth from the Goonies. And it was right here. And he has it the whole movie. I bet you can see it if you rewatch the movie. See the movie twice, guys, and you can see Sloth from the Goonies on Seth's arm.
That's a good little nugget for us. I like that.
Cool, yeah.
Well, I'm going to go into the movie again because I loved it.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, it's a project I know that Seth has been kind of working on for a while, and he was very keen to get Charlize. I mean, for you as a filmmaker, what did you see in the material that thought you wanted to get involved and bring it to the screen?
I mean, first of all, it was just fantastically funny with these two characters who I thought were so sharply drawn, and you don't get very often to make like an original story that's so romantic and so funny, and it just reminded me of movies that I loved from growing up. Cameron Crowe movies or When Harry Met Sally. Like, I just thought it was a romantic comedy of a quality level that you just don't get to see that much. So I was very excited.
Yeah, and Seth, when we spoke to Seth just now, he was saying it was important to have it as a two-hander where both you felt for both characters, you followed their stories, but they were in it together. I mean, was that an important part for you as well?
I mean, I think that's what's also so compelling about it is it's set against the backdrop of this very interesting, timely story about a woman trying to achieve her goals. And I think that, we really worked very hard to make it feel as kind of representative of two point of views as possible. And that was very exciting for me too.
Yeah. You worked with Seth before on 50-50, which was very kind of un-Seth in the sense that it's not knocked up or it's not, this is the end of anything like that. I mean, what's it like to work for him as an actor, but also as a producer? Because he's bringing so many great kind of comedies, but also other dramas to the screen as well.
I think that, we have a very similar sensibility when it comes to comedy. I mean, the two movies you pointed out are both, they're trying very hard not to just be standard comedies. They're trying very hard to kind of move the conversation forward and do interesting things with tone. And so I think we just kind of complement each other in that way very well, because we both want to do things that are a little more tricky. And we both kind of enjoy the challenge of doing a comedy that's a little bit different and that has a little bit more to say or a little bit more going on. And we've kind of, that kind of tonal connection is really, really important. I mean, but more than that, he's just the funniest person in the world. So what when you're making these movies, and if you're ever like, oh my God, this is going to be too sad, or oh, this is going to be too sappy, he can tell a joke out of thin air that makes the whole thing sing. So it's really, really great.
Yeah. And for you as a filmmaker, I mean, you've done some comedies and you've done some other movies and you worked in TV. I mean, is there something that you out there that you'd like to do, whether it's going into a bigger movie, or are you happy doing kind of the smaller movies right now?
I mean, I would do one of those big movies maybe. I don't know, it kind of depends. Like none of them have so far felt like I could really put my own personality into them, but I would absolutely do like a big comic book movie and blow things up. That sounds cool. But like more than that, I think what I learned when doing this movie is I really liked a lot of the dramatic stuff, like the scene where, well, I don't want to give anything away, but there were some of the dramatic scenes working with the two of them, I was really like feeling very fulfilled from working on those scenes. So maybe I'll do something that's more dramatic. Instead of a comedy with a little bit of drama, maybe I'll do a drama with a little bit of comedy. But I like the opportunity to tell original stories, and hopefully I'll do that for as long as they'll let me, and then I'll do a comic book movie.
Well, I hope you do some more. Thank you so much for your time.
Dude.
Absolute pleasure. Cheers.
All right, later.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.